Okay, hello and welcome. Chris here, T-Titan, and in this video I have really a huge Teespring announcement to make that I think is going to shake up the t-shirt marketing game for t-shirt marketers everywhere. But first, a very quick recap on why now is the best time to profit with t-shirts. Well, there's a couple of reasons that we touched on yesterday actually. The first is that Facebook costs right now are going to be dirt cheap, and they'll stay dirt cheap for the next 80 days. So here we have a quote from Walker Williams, who's the Teespring CEO, and essentially what's happened, according to Walker, is that all these big companies who are spending on Facebook have suddenly stopped, and in fact this has been so pronounced that Teespring sales have increased by 40% in the space of a week, and this is very recent. As you can see, this is less than a week old. So essentially, we've got for the rest of the quarter, which is another 80 days to take advantage of that opportunity before all these big companies start spending again. The second reason, and probably the main one actually, is that Teespring sales, and in fact all t-shirt sales across the internet and globally, are about to explode over the next 3 months. And the reason for that is because it's the summertime, and the summertime is when people buy t-shirts specifically in the build-up to summer, which is now really April and May and June essentially. And you can see this if we go over to Alexa, which is a competitive intelligence site. You can see that Teespring's traffic, if we look last year, really kind of peaked around April, May. So you can see it started off kind of here and then just suddenly went up and peaked around kind of May, stayed pretty strong until sort of July, and then as we kind of get to August it starts to dip. There's a small sort of peak there again for Christmas, and then it stays quite flat. And what we're about to see now is a big spike again as we head towards summer, and probably an even bigger spike than we saw last time, because of course Teespring is just a bigger and better company than it was previously. And then the third thing that's kind of working in our favor is that previously we've only had Teespring as a platform. Well, we've now also got Fabrily, and Fabrily's really started to throw out some big numbers. So yesterday I gave you this spreadsheet here, which is a collection of all the profitable campaigns that we found as of 8th of April for this week on Teespring and Fabrily. You can see that the total is 37,000 sales, which probably equates to around maybe somewhere in the region of $600,000 to $7,000 in gross sales, and probably somewhere between $200,000 and $400,000 in payouts. So it's, some pretty big meaty campaigns that we're seeing here. And you'll see as well that we're actually starting to see Fabrily campaigns enter the kind of top 20 for the first time. So here we have a Fabrily campaign that sold 800, so again probably somewhere in the region of maybe $16,000 to $20,000 in gross revenues. Another one that's done 700 or just under, probably $14,000 to $15,000 in revenues. So we're now starting to see that we've got this second opportunity here, Fabrily, which is really exciting because that's a whole new market with multiple languages and all of these niches which haven't been explored before. And when you put these three things together, it's basically the perfect time for us to start taking action and launching campaigns again. The question then is, how do we actually do this? How do we take advantage and profit and make as much money as possible in the next 80 days? Well, very briefly, I'll just quickly give you an overview of the basics. I'm sure you do all know this, but I'll just give it you anyway. The first thing we need to do is choose an audience, a niche topic we can sell to. So people who own pit bull dogs, people who are nurses, that kind of thing. The next step is we choose a design. We come up with an idea for the design and create an image to put on our t-shirt. Then we buy traffic from Facebook ads, and we see how the campaign's doing and respond to the results essentially. Most people do know the system, and at this point you've already seen that we've got, people throwing out like 37,000 sales in the space of just a week, $600,000 to $700,000 in gross revenues. So you can see that people are making money. The question then is, why aren't you launching over 100 campaigns a week, and why aren't you profiting? Well, there's a few obvious answers and a few stumbling blocks that people have. The first thing is that it takes so much time to have to do everything. So if you're trying to chuck out 100 campaigns, it's probably going to take you maybe up to an hour at a time to launch a campaign. So who has the sanity, the time, or the inclination to spend 100 hours a week managing t-shirt campaigns? The second stumbling block is that it's going to take a lot of money to experiment with Facebook ads. Not everyone has got, you know, 10, 20 or $30 to burn through a day on Facebook ads. And then the third thing is it's going to take a lot of time to generate t-shirt designs, especially ones that you can't reuse. And I'm sure we've all been there. We've come up with a t-shirt idea. We really feel this is the one. We're super pumped, super excited. We put it live, it doesn't work, it doesn't convert, or we even get likes and shares, but we don't get any sales. It's very, very demoralizing. And there's kind of not really an easy way out of it, because probably in most cases the designs that we have don't really, can't really be reused for different niches. So the average campaign could take anywhere from $5 up to $30 in design cost and ad spend, and maybe between $1 and $5, 1 and 5 hours to set up. And so it's kind of quite draining on an emotional level, on a time level, and on a financial level. And these are the kind of stumbling blocks that stop people from getting access to those several $100,000 in sales. And so what I've done is I basically spent the last 2 months working on a solution to this. It's not been easy. In fact, it's cost over $5,000 in development costs to get here. But I'm proud to say that as of today, I've basically completed what is really the one-click, one-stop, 100% automated solution for selling t-shirts using Teespring, Fabrily and Facebook. And when I say one-stop, I do mean it. The software basically does everything, all 4 steps for the t-shirt business on one single web page. Specifically when it comes to the niches step, it's preloaded with the 100 best t-shirt niches. And the reason I say fact is because basically I have someone who goes off and sends me a file like this every single week and shows me which niches are converting, and then I just go through, see which ones are performing well, and keep an eye on them. So it's essentially the 100 best t-shirt niches that are going to perform best for the summer of 2015. The second step, as you know, is we need to come up with a design idea and then create our image. And the software that I'm about to show you is preloaded with my best 100 t-shirt designs. The third step is to launch on Facebook and get traffic, and I've only included the niches that allow for very, very simple targeting on Facebook, for example, targeting people by job title, so that there's not a lot of research and not a lot of guesswork involved there either. And then the fourth step, of course, is to, once the campaign's gone live, to actually manage the campaign and work out what to do next. And the software that I've built, a kind of separate software to accompany the core software, predicts the winners after as little as $1 ad spend, and also allows us to tweak, kill, or run our campaign based on what the software statistically and scientifically tells us to do. So essentially all of the steps, all of the problems that we encounter as Teespring marketers have been solved. And it's basically the easiest way to profit this summer. So there's actually 2 software tools, and when you combine them, it means there's no more niche selection. I'm actually going to give you 150 niches, or rather the software will. There's no more creating designs. There's over 100 designs included. There's no more wasted Facebook ad cash. You can find the winners in as little as $1 to $3 ad spend. No more time wasting looking for interests. As I say, all of these niches are deliberately very, very easy to promote with very, very simple targeting basically. And there's no more wondering about Fabrily as well, because for the first time ever I've included non-English designs as well as English designs. So it's basically opened up a whole market that you probably never would have considered, because you're not going to take the time to translate and create designs, let alone to spend $5,000 developing the software that I'm about to show you. And that's not even the best part. It does get better. In fact, this is faster than any other tool that's out there. You can go from a niche idea to launching on Facebook in under a minute. It's easier than any other software tool that's ever existed, because it's all in one. As I say, it's all on one page that you can do everything from. In fact, there's almost zero competition. Even though it's template driven, the possibilities are endless. There's 150 niches, 100 designs loaded, 4 combinations for each, and that totals 90,000 possible design permutations and combinations. And it's expandable even beyond that, because you can also enter your own niches and designs, just on the off chance that 90,000 is not a big enough number for you. You can also expand with a competitive intelligence, which is something I'll save for later, and you can access that with just one click. And anyone can do this because it will run, both software tools will run on Mac and also on PC. So what I'm going to do now is just give you a quick demonstration of both tools. And the first tool is called the One-Click Designer. Okay, and it's basically an all-in-one tool that allows you to choose niches, browse design ideas, and create a completed design image in the space of just a few seconds, all from one software tool. Now, all of these niches are proven to be profitable for the summer of 2015. All of the designs are already proven to be profitable. I've either launched them or tweaked designs that have done well in other markets, and they will work in any niche that you can think of. Now, essentially, the way the software works is it spins designs. You might have heard of an article spinner. Well, this works in kind of the same way, but it's much more powerful, much more sophisticated, and much more nuanced because it deals with positioning, fonts, styles, colors, all kinds of things. It's very powerful and very clever. This hasn't been done before. And what it does is it basically allows you to go from a niche idea to a design or several designs in the space of literally 10 seconds. We're also adding some competitive intelligence features, which again will be one click, and we are going to be rolling those out in the space of the next day or two. But what I want to do now is just show you the one-click design and show you how simple and yet how powerful it is. So the first thing that we'll do is we can basically choose a niche, and the niches are arranged into categories. We will be adding more, but at the moment we've kept it on a fairly kind of tight number, simply because I only wanted to add the very best niches and categories. So at the moment there's about 150. You can see we have miscellaneous, professions, pets and hobbies. So if I choose professions, of which there are 54 niches, then go over to this drop down, you'll see that we just have tons and tons of these, and essentially you can just sort of browse through the different numbers. There's a title for the profession, a rough audience size, and also a description in case you don't know what the profession or the particular niche means. We can choose a profession, let's say nurses here. And then what we've got is you've basically got 4 types, and each of these trigger the different design options that we have available and some of the designs that are loaded into the system. But what I want to show you now is as we enter different niches, the words that appear over here will change. So if you can just keep your eye on these 4 words, you'll see what I mean. So put pilot in, we've got pilot, flying, plane, cool, accountant, bookkeeping, calculator, numerical, carpenter, hammering, skilled, blah blah blah, etc. etc. And if I just remove the text here, then you'll be able to see that each of these is a different type of word. So we have profession, which is a person, a firefighter, veteran, a nurse, an engineer. We have verb, which is basically a doing word, running, fighting, saving lives. We have an object, which could be a surfboard, a pit bull, a computer, adjective, which is basically a descriptive word. And as we go through, and we can enter our own keywords here for a niche that maybe isn't covered here, but the easiest way to get started is just to choose a niche and it's pre-filled for us. Now we can also upload an image, but for now what I'll do is I'll click this button, which is create t-shirt designs. And as you can see, we've basically been given a whole number of different t-shirt designs that we can sort of get started with. And if we see a design that we like, we can just click on the image and it will automatically be downloaded and ready to be uploaded to either Teespring or Fabrily. You can see they're all pre-formatted perfectly. If I just go up and just quickly choose another one, say mechanic, then you'll see in the space of just a few seconds it basically changes, the word changes. We can enter whatever we want into here and it will determine the designs that appear down here essentially. But let me just select nurses again because I do like that niche. And one of the cool things about this is, aside from the fact you've got all these different designs that you can download, we've also now got support for multi-language. So you can see here we've got the German one, which is a hot single nurse in German. And if I hover over it, you'll see that we've actually got a translation. So you can see hot single nurse. Here we have trust me, I'm a nurse. And in some cases the German word will be the same as the English word. In other cases you might want to do a quick Google Translate. But you can see that we've got, you know, a large number of these, not just German actually, but also English, Spanish, and various other words as well, various other languages. You can see that we've just got absolutely tons of these. So we've got a French one there, another French one, and you know, we just have so many of these that you can just easily get started with. In some cases, they might not be massively grammatical, so there might be like a grammatical error. So you can see that one works really well. World's best mom, wife, nurse. And then there's others where if you don't like syringe, you need therapy. Well, that should obviously be plural. So what we can do there is just click on that, just put in syringes. Go back to that third page. And then you can see it's been amended, and then we can just download that and upload it straight to our t-shirt. We can also change these however we want. We can also upload an image as well. So for example, this is an image of a nurse. So if I upload the image of the nurse, then it will unlock additional designs that previously weren't there. So I love my, and then a picture of a nurse. Just another beer drinker with a saving lives problem. I am loved by, and then obviously again that one's not grammatical, so we should probably change that. I am loved by, let's just put in my patients for that one. Just put the image in again, because I do like that one actually. So I was a nurse, but it was popular to be one. Hot single nurse, I love my nurse husband, I can't keep calm, I'm a nurse. You can see that we've got 5 of these that have opened up now. So we've just got more and more designs. And by the way, we are going to be adding more and more as we go along. What's this one here? All I care about is my patients, maybe 3 people in German. For this one, we'd probably translate that in German. But you can see that the translations have all been done and are all grammatical. So we just have to insert a single word or a phrase, and it will basically translate perfect into that word essentially. Let me just sort of quickly enter another niche here that's not actually in the system. So let's try profession, astrologist, verb, stargazing, object, telescope, and adjective, starstruck. Okay, so just completely fresh niche that isn't actually preloaded into the system. But you can see that we've again just got all these designs that we can easily play around with. And again, we'll be adding more and more as we get going. So we are going live with 100. So if you add all 4 of these categories, fill up all 4 of the form fields and upload an image, then you'll have 100 designs to browse and play around with essentially. And again, all of these niches that are included are basically specifically preloaded for to be specifically selected to be profitable and specifically selected to be very easy to target. So these are all niches that we found easy to target, that have good audience sizes, and essentially are just very profitable and very easy for you to get started. As I say, it's not just focused on Teespring. We've also now got this option to focus on Fabrily as well for the first time ever. So I'm really excited about this. We've also got a second tool, which is basically a bonus tool really, but it is an important one, and it's basically called the social formula. And what it does is it addresses the most common issues. Now, the first problem that people have with Facebook is that it's time consuming and tough to research interests. But as I've mentioned, all of the niches that we focus on here are very easy to target. So in the majority of these cases, actually, you can just target by job title. So you can just go in, put in job title within Facebook and put in writer, teacher, mechanic, pilot, whatever, and the audience will be big enough for you to test with. And then and only then, if it converts, do you actually go back in and start to look for more additional interests. So initially, for the majority of these campaigns, you won't need to do almost any, or in some cases 0 interest research. So it basically, the one-click designer completely solves that issue. The second problem though is that people don't know what to look for in a good campaign. So without spending loads and loads of money to be absolutely sure, how do you know if a campaign's good or not once you've actually put it live? Well, the software, the social formula software that I'm about to show you, basically predicts the winners and tells you what action to take. And then the final issue, which kind of follows on from that, is people don't want to waste $10 or more with every single failed campaign. Well, the software that I'm about to show you will tell you if a campaign is a dud or not just after a few clicks. So the way it works is quite simple. You go over to your Facebook campaign, you click on reports, you set a report up using these specific columns. Just click on customize column and basically add these columns here. Once you've done it once, you won't have to do it again. That's kind of it. And then just put the ad set name or the campaign name that you want to target. And for example, this one here, I'm going to look at, you can see that we've spent £25 in the last week. We've got 3 sales, so we've spent about £8, maybe $12 per sale. So on balance, you'd say that that was an unprofitable campaign, and it's one that you would probably kill. Alternatively, you could load a report up like this and try and work out which age or gender is working. So maybe if male's working well, aged 30 to 40 maybe, or female aged 45 to 54. But it's going to be time consuming to go through and not just look at sales, but look at all the other metrics as well, and try and use those to work out whether a campaign is worth running or not. And that's where the social formula tool comes in. Now, it's an Adobe Air software, so it will work on both PC and Mac essentially. All you have to do is, for any campaign that you're running, once you've spent at least $1 of ad spend, load up these columns here, which are very, very easy to do. And once you've done it, you can just save it as a pre-named report. So you can see I've got mine saved as ad set new. Then you just put the name of your ad set in here, select breakdown, age and gender, click on the export button, which will ask you to export the CSV file, which will just save the CSV file to your computer. Then go over to the social formula file, find the CSV, import it into the tool, and it will basically tell you, not just purely in terms of numbers, but also in terms of these color codes, which is the best segment to run on. So you can see here that we're basically seeing lots and lots of red and lots of orange, and only kind of one bit of green here, which is the age 45 to 54. Now, the way the software works is it'll look at all of these different metrics: cost per website click, cost per share, cost per sale, click-through rate, cost per engagement, and of course, checkouts and cost per conversion is the main one. But it'll look at all these different metrics, and from those metrics, it'll then work out whether a particular segment is performing well, so whether the campaign overall is performing well. And in this case, you can see it's got quite a low score, only 11, so overall at this point we are losing money. But when we look specifically at this age group here, and to an extent at the female segment, it does seem to be kind of performing okay. If you don't like to look at numbers like this, you can also see it presented in graphical form, and it basically is a very, very easy way to purely look at the numbers and just simply look at colors and bar charts and decide on that whether or not the campaign is a good one. If you are a technical person, which I'm going to assume you're not, but if you are, then you can edit the formula, which I'll show you to do. It's very simple, but it is quite a thorough formula, and it's one that's worked for me in the past, and as you can see, it's also quite thought out. The only reason I show you this, by the way, is if you're not just a Teespring marketer, but maybe you market other things as well, so maybe CPA offers or your own ebooks or something like that, you can amend the formula and save it to fit your specific requirements, or maybe even give the software to one of your virtual assistants and then use this, and with this they can then basically apply your formula and also manage your Facebook campaigns. So essentially, Social Formula is the second part of the package that really just addresses all of these problems here. And essentially, when you combine Social Formula with the one-click designer, all of the steps that a Teespring marketer needs to do, from coming up with niches to creating designs and coming up with design ideas to launching them on Facebook and then managing the campaigns once they've gone live, the whole thing has now been automated and brought to such a simple level that basically anyone can take advantage of this huge opportunity that's coming up over the space of the next couple of months. In case you didn't know, the name of this new offer is T-Shirt Titan 2.0. Titan 1 came out in November, so essentially this is more than 5 months waiting, just under 6 months actually. But the wait is over because this goes live Monday, April 13th. It's going to be at a discounted price, a discounted launch price, but that will not last. So if you want to get in, I do suggest you check for that email this Monday. You'll get full access to both software tools at the discount, both of which are PC and Mac compatible. Social Formula is Adobe Air, so it will run on both PC and Mac. And of course, the one-click formula is browser-based, so it can basically run on anything with a browser. It won't just run on PC and Mac actually, it'll also run on tablets and smartphones, the one-click designer, so really cool. You'll also get full training information and several other incredible bonuses, which I will announce closer to launch. So please keep your eyes on your inbox for more information. This is basically the one-click solution that you need to profit from the incoming Teespring, Fably and Facebook madness over the coming summer. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm really excited to be bringing you T-Shirt Titan 2.0. Thanks for watching, and I look forward to speaking to you soon. Cheers.